just how God gives Adam the touch of life in the Sistine Chapel. The Americas, two distinct continents, touch at one fine point. And this one small connection has created one of the most biodiverse regions on Mother Earth. Evolutionary paths separated by millions of years come together on this continental highway where the country of Panama resides. This small country is rich in endemism, species found exclusively in one location and nowhere else on Earth. So endemic, you might not even find a certain bird or plant on the other side of a river. Life around here is cozy and discreet. And one very rare species dwelling in these jungles is the source of chaos and mania in the human world of plant collectors. I'm talking about none other than Anthurium Papilanimnaimanamanamimanan. Wait, hold on. Anthurium Papillilaminum. Wait, Papillilaminum. You know what? Since nobody can quite agree how to pronounce this one, let's break this name down and figure out the best way to pronounce it. This species gets its name from two words. The first word is papilla. A papilla is a small fleshy projection on plant or animal tissue. Papilla literally means nipple in Latin. You know those raised dots on the back of your tongue that contain your taste buds? Those are papillae. Your tongue is actually covered with them. But papillae aren't used by plants to taste. They instead act as a protective buffer inside the cell wall. This buffer is a line of defense against fungal infections, because many anthuriums dwell in the darkest and wettest parts of the rainforests where pathogens flourish. The second word is lamina. Lamina in Latin means a thin layer or plate of material. In botany, it refers to the flat, expanded portion of the leaf. So the name literally means papillae on the lamina. Papilla, lamina, Papillilaminum. But since that's a bit of a tongue twister, we'll just call this guy Pap. Paps are quite mesmerizing, flaunting large leaves of dark olive green. The closer to black, the more desirable it becomes to collectors. The plant's leaves have convex cells designed to more efficiently capture the diffuse light filter through the canopy above. This gives the foliage a striking iridescent sheen. Violet crystalline undersides to their leaves also assist in absorbing light in the deep shade. And this is a species that thrives in low light. Too much light will lighten the leaf color and cause bleaching. Pap was originally discovered and collected by Dr. Robert Dressler in the late 1960s, and later published by Dr. Thomas Crowett in 1986. A thinly dispersed terrestrial anthurium, it has been found growing primarily on steep slopes of broken ground. Only a small handful of isolated localities have been documented in the Caribbean coastal rainforests of central Panama. Paps have been widely popular since their introduction into ornamental horticulture. But the plant craze in recent years has led to poaching in large numbers, greatly diminishing their wild populations. As sparse as paps are in nature, they can display distinct variation in leaf shape and color in different localities, adding to the confusion of what really is and is not a pap. Over the decades, a small pool of individuals cherry-picked plants from known localities for domestication and artificial propagation. These individual plants can vary in appearance quite a bit, and propagations, or clones, of these wild collected specimens fetch a high price. So high, in fact, that a pure pap set the record at an aroid auction in recent years. Professional and amateur growers alike have developed breeding programs to hybridize pap with other equally beautiful species. This has created some stunning hybrids on the market. But poor hybridizing documentation has left very few paps reliably pure in their genes. This has created a drastic price range in paps. In many cases, desirable features can increase the demand and value of a specimen. But in this case, origin and lineage can add another zero to the price. While it's understandable that serious plant collectors want their acquisitions properly documented and sourced, it does come with cons. This lack of credibility in the marketplace has emboldened veteran growers and botanists to deem their lineage of plants as the only reliable source, justifying ridiculous price gouging just because a plant is traced back to a particular grower who has collected wild specimens. While it's reasonable to charge a more premium price for plants that are guaranteed to be exactly what they are, paps can increase in price by thousands of dollars simply by originating from a particular source, even if they look identical to another pap on the market listed at a fraction of the price. This, to me, is just a veiled form of gatekeeping and elitism. In my opinion, breeding programs should not be so adamant on purity and genes. Yup, I said it. Instead, it should be focused on desired features and characteristics. Because let's face it, the bugs flying around in the jungles aren't exactly keeping track of which flowers they touched. Does a quote-unquote pure pap even really exist? The goal of artificial breeding should simply be to create the strongest and most beautiful specimens possible, not just to preserve purity, whatever that means. In a region brimming with endemic life, pap is just one example of a greater ecological achievement. A hidden gem among countless others. Endemics are very important because they indicate the health of an ecosystem, and by default are extremely vulnerable when forced with threats that can lead to extinction. It's not just one species going extinct if other species directly or indirectly depend on it. So when an endemic plant or animal disappears, it can take a dozen other species with it. Protecting endemics is vital in protecting the stability of our Earth's many ecosystems. So the next time you come across a stunning plant with a name you have no idea how to pronounce, consider the journey it's been on and how you can responsibly source your collection of greenery. If you enjoyed this video, please interact with it. It lets me know if I am making content you enjoy. Leave a comment letting me know your thoughts and share it with a friend. This has been Jake, also known as Plant Gay for Life.